master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Again, access. Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown, gathering where you have not scattered. Now, what I find quite interesting is this. Let us assume that in this particular parable, it's a parable of comparison. So then we can say that the master is Jesus. Remember, he's the Lord of the harvest. And here is not sweet Jesus. What a wonder you are. In the words of one Jay-Z, he said, I'm not just a businessman, I'm a businessman. I love that. I love that. But it's quite amazing that oftentimes when we think of Jesus, we don't think business. When in Scripture there are concepts such as redemption, we talk about redeemable shares. These are economic concepts. Even the cross was a business transaction. But okay. So I was afraid and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here it what belongs to you. I would think that this man was the faithful one, because he's giving back that which was given. But Jesus says, actually, it's not the fear that had you. You are wicked. Ooh. Wicked. You are a lazy son. No, I was fearful. So you knew that I harvest. So he doesn't dispute the fact that he harvests where he has not sown and gather where he has not scattered seed. He's a hard-knock business person. In the book of Revelation, one of the things we see about him, he is coming to see returns on investment. How are you doing as a church?
Come on now.
Well, then you should have put my money, my God, on deposit with the bankers. It's as if we are at London School of Economics here. So that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. Fulu, come on. You know, this is some good stuff.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, yes.
Look at him act in a manner that is very much consistent with, let's say, a fund manager or an asset manager. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more. Have you ever noticed that it's as if there's an algorithm of abundance to abundance?
Oh, yes.
It's amazing. When you begin to make a bit of money, even in some spaces, you don't even have to pay for a lot of things.
Oh, yes.
But don't have money. And God says, look, this is a principle of the kingdom. Because Jesus used parables to illustrate how the kingdom functions. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken away from them. And throw that worthless servant aside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You may be seated. You know, one of the things that is quite interesting is around our conception of how favor functions. We don't think that you can behave your way into a place of favor. Favor is at times a product of behavior. And there I say that at times it's not even a product of beliefs, which is faith, but it's a product of behavior. If right now I were to talk around, let's say, the concept of grace, the first thing that you would think about is unmerited favor. My definition of favor, I would say it's undeserved access. Now, there's another component around it, and that is favor is always tied up to responsibility. Let me put it this way. There's a difference between favor and favoritism. Favor is always tied up to a purpose. The reason why Joseph experienced the favor of God is because there was a purpose upon his life. And that was to save lives. So when God gives you favor, it's always tied up to a responsibility. Many claim, but a faithful person, who can find? In other words, a faithful person is a rare commodity. And another thing is this: a faithful person is someone that others are looking for. If you are faithful, it's either you are being looked for or they should look for you. I always say this around relationships, that don't look at promises or don't listen to promises. Follow patterns. I love it in the King James Version because it doesn't even say a faithful person. It says a faithful man. The first act between the transaction between God and man was not man trusting in God. It was God trusting in man. Favor can be won. It's not just something that's inherited, but it's something that if you portray certain virtues, you'll find that you then begin to operate at a higher level of favor, even in corporate.